Hey, how you guys doing? This is Davonte Sheard, creator of the Guide Strategy, and I have a new video for you guys. This video is actually going to be a very good video. I'm going to try to make it short and get straight to the point. So let's go. Alright, so I made some recent discoveries as well as my students. They've also had some wonderful discoveries, and we're going to share them in this video. Now, what I noticed is, in the previous video, the Magenta video, I didn't even go over these zones right here. I just gave the 4 confirmations. So I'm actually go over the zones, and I'm actually go over the updated improvement one of my students did, and an actual way to get into the trend, because the trend is your friend. You just need to know how to enter the trend. So what we're going to show you right here, let's go to a pair. Let's go to a good pair. Let's see. We can. Alright, so here's UCAD, US Canadian dollar. As you can see, the Magenta has went into the zone, and we don't, when it goes into the zone, that means it's a buy area. This is a buy zone. When it goes into the top, this is a sell zone. Top parameters are 60, 80, and this is negative 60, negative 80 for this buy zone. So once the Magenta line goes into there and leaves successfully, then you know the trend has changed to up. Now that the trend has changed to up, you want to know when can you get in the trend, because you can actually get in the trend anytime during this, but you want to know where to put your stop loss and have a good entry point, and so you can have less drawdown in your trade. So what I'm actually going to show you now is how we can actually enter the trend once we know which way the trend is going. So if you could see, this line actually serves another purpose right here. Once we know the trend is up right here, we then see this dip down into the zone. Now, even though this is the zones for the Magenta, it actually works very well for this, the VB timer as well. So since the trend is up and we got to dip down into the buy zone on this indicator, which is actually right here, this is the perfect entry into the uptrend. So we can see it's the perfect entry. Let's see if we can find another one right here. The trend is still up, perfect entry. See if we can find another one. Now your trend has reached the top. It's in now it's in the sell zone. So now that the trend is Magenta is in the sell zone, we're going to be looking for touches towards the top. Even though this touch right here, you could have easily caught a few pips, that would have been against the trend. And technically the trend isn't down until it leaves this. So the trend isn't down until it leaves this area. But while it's in the sell zone, there's a chance that the trend could be starting to go down from here. Now the trend isn't confirmed until it actually leaves. Right here is when the trend is confirmed. So you actually want to wait until you get some top touches now that this trend has changed. So even though you have one entry right here, second entry right here, this could have been a third entry, would have been profitable, but as you can see, it didn't went any higher after it hit here, which means there's a trend change. So now you're looking for the inverse. After it leaves this zone, you know the trend is going down. You can enter immediately right here once it's broken the trend, but a better entry is to wait till it comes to the top so you can have a little bit of drawdown. So this one, although this didn't reach the top, this was a good entry. You just wouldn't have caught it. Now if you already was in from right here, you were fine. You caught that whole drop. And here's another one. Although it didn't touch the top, this would have been a good one. If you already in and you've seen that, now this right here, this is actually a perfect entry with the strategy. Now although right now it did actually go higher. I'm doubting that it's going to actually continue up. It may hit the trend line and then continue down. This is a good entry. You wrote it down a little bit, caught about 40 pips, 50 pips. You can still be in this trade because it hit that. So that's a good entry right here. This is a good entry. This is a good entry, and this is a good entry, but it doesn't line up. Now, if you got in from here, you caught all of those, and you could have re-entered right here. I'll actually show you this on some other pairs as well. And as you all know, the Magenta, the 23 and 36 bridge also works well. So if you know the trend has changed, you can go from blue to red at the highest point, blue to red, and look for a 23 bounce. Once you figure the trend is about to change, this tool out, drop them right here. I don't know why it's disappearing. Let's try it again. Alright, so now you know what the other videos I did were talking about. 23 bounce to 4 confirmations. So you do it from here to there. Just wait for a 23 bounce. This was a 23 bounce. Successfully, if it goes 1 block above, it's considered a bounce. 2 blocks above, it's not a bounce. You want it to bounce. If it's going down, you want it to come down, bounce, and go down. It's not a bounce if it comes down here and bounce off of that. It's actually a buy bounce. But for the sell bounce, you want it to go below the 23, come back and tap the 23 or the 38. So this one you got a 23 bounce, could have entered right here. Here was another bounce. Here was another bounce. So this would have been your perfect entry had you been following all those confirmations and had you know the trend had changed. Now, you didn't know the trend changed simply because this was still in this zone. This gives you an indication that the trend may be changing. It's at the top. There's a strong possibility that this uptrend is over. However, the trend doesn't change until this comes out. And when this comes out, if you already had these two MAs crossing, when the yellow is on top, it's a downtrend. Also, when these candlesticks are red, it's a downtrend. When you see majority red, it's a downtrend. So you got another confirmation with the candle color. And when yellow's on top, it's a downtrend. When red on the bottom, it's a downtrend. When the red is on top, like over here, it's an uptrend. Yellow on the bottom is a downtrend. So as you can see right here, when we left this area, we've seen those two cross signifying an uptrend. See, it's still in the uptrend. Another entry right here. Another entry right here. Just got to be patient. And that's that. Let's try another pair. So what I previously called was an AUD USD buy. And the buy has hit stop loss simply because I actually didn't place the stop loss in a perfect enough place. Now, and I didn't wait till this hits that. That would have been a perfect entry. So we actually got the confirmations. We got this leaving that right here. These two had crossed. Let's see if we got the 23. Bounce. So we got a 23.6 bounce. So I can delete this. Start it right here. Start from there to there. And what do you know? Price gave us two bounces right here. Now price is here again. This is another stop loss should actually been under this. We had a stop loss actually kind of right here somewhere. Stop loss should actually been under this area. So as we can see, if we suspect the trend is changing because it's in here, we want to draw it from here to here and wait for a bounce. Once that bounce happens, we actually want to see what this indicator is doing. This indicator is still up. We want to wait for another perfect chance to actually enter. So we want to wait till it comes down and touches these. Now it hasn't touched those yet, but as you can see, it's at a key area 23.6, and it looks like it's going to begin to reverse again. Now these two have also crossed. These two MAs have also crossed for a confirmation. When you entered, when 4 confirmations were all met as well, got your up arrow, got your 23 bounce, you got this above that, you got this indicator above the magic magenta. So this would have been your entry. You'd have been in profit about 80-90 pips, and then now you're at break even. But I actually entered a little late because I wanted to enter on the strategy. I just wanted to catch some pips because I figured it was going to take off because they already had 2 bounces, so I figured it was just going to take off. So I just wanted to just enter. I know the trend was up, so I know the chances of it going up is way stronger than it going down. So with that being said, stop loss just got hit, but now you can have better entries in your strategy by using this indicator. This for the trend. This is the trend identifier indicator, and this is the entry indicator that you get entries. And if you use all the videos in combination with each other, you got the 23.6 bounce, you got the 4 confirmations. I just gave you another entry method, these crossing each other. That's another confirmation. So, and the more blue than red equals up, more red than blue equals down. And you can see here, this is another one. When it leaves, it's actually considered in an uptrend. Now, if this red comes back and touches that, you can bet your money on it. That's a buy point. It's actually one of the best buy points. So you can see what's happening on other pairs. Let's just show you let's show you USD JPY. There's a possibility we could have caught this, not this whole move, but to show you. Alright, so you could have actually caught a lot of this. So let's see. Let's delete this. Use trend lines. Delete all of this. Let's try to keep this video short. I don't want it too long. This is probably the last pair I'm gonna analyze. Okay. You've seen price come down. This was coming down. Now it's in the zone. You're not looking to buy while it's in the zone. You want to wait to leave for extra confirmation. So it finally leaves. After it leaves right here, you're looking for buy entries. You're looking for reasons to buy. You know, you draw from here to here, from the last red to the last blue on down, and from the last blue to the last red on up. As you can see, let's go get that. So as you can see, price came down. Let's see if it actually bounced before it gave us the cross. So, well, it actually bounced after the cross, or it bounced before the cross. My bad. So before it left, it gave us that bounce. This would have been a perfect entry had we know the trend was up. And as you can kind of tell the trend is coming up, as you can see these two lines cross. The red is back on top, indicating the uptrend. It's just a matter of confluence. A lot of these confirmations in the trade at once, using everything you know. That's why it's good to study and use everything, because the more confirmations, the more better to trade. Alright, so we can see this was a good entry point. So let's suppose you missed that. As you can see, it came down. It didn't touch that. That would have been a good entry point. But as you can see, it didn't touch that area. This one came down. You can see it kind of touched that area, but it didn't really touch. That would have been another entry. And those are about the only entries we had. And as you can see, this actually went past the second target. Did some consolidation and didn't drop. So now let's find the downside. So the red MA is on top the whole time. Right here, it does some confusion. It switches and then immediately switches. So that was a false breakout, aka a false trend break. Right here. Still on top, still on top, still on top. Finally switches over right here. This is where it finally switches over at. I think I got too many pairs open right now. My laptop can't keep up. So it finally switched, so now we're in a downtrend. During some of this move, the Magenta broke out right here, which is like pretty much after this major move happened. So we didn't catch the major move. What we actually see is this fib gave us an entry as well. So let's see if the fibs gave us an entry. We drop from here to here. So from here to here, we actually had no 23 bounce. We had no 23 bounce. So this was a tricky one. This was actually a tricky one. We didn't catch that move. But now, since we know it's in a downtrend, this line hasn't touched the bottom yet, which means it's most likely we're still going to be in a downtrend for a while. And I'll show you another entry you could have got for the downtrend. These two. This was an entry. This was another entry. And this one here was another entry. Now notice how when it taps, it still continues to go up. But when the red slash blue line is fully in there, it doesn't go up no more. It's like a better entry. These are good entries, but this is the best one. And it fully goes in there. Right here. Alright, and that about sums it up for this video. I'm gonna need you to go and watch this video, say about 4 or 5 times, so you can catch all the confirmations. You won't be entering no more just because the Magenta line touched the top of this. You'll be waiting for it to leave, getting your entry points, using this fib tool for the 23 bounce, noticing these two crossovers to determine the trend, following the trend, more red candles, downtrend, and drawing your fibs properly from this one to that one. The reason we did this is because this is the last swing. This is considered a swing. This is the last upswing before trend reverses. This is the last downswing before trend reverses. And now you can tell the trend reverse that leaves the zone. So I hope you guys has learned a lot from this video, and all your trades be successful. So as right now, let's see if we can call out a trade. I'm actually probably about to hop making AUD USD. I want to see if it's gonna reverse here. If it reverses here and goes up 20 pips, give us a bounce. And before it touches this, I'm gonna go ahead and re-enter again. Stop loss in this zone. Take profit at the second target. You can't even see the second target, but it's already in the signal group. However, if it continues to fall, I'm gonna wait until it enters the zone. Wait until that red line actually gets into the zone or touches it before I enter again. So I hope this video has been helpful. You guys have a blessed day, and always thank you for watching.